WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Good evening, I'm Tommy Lopez. We start with an update on a recent downtown Columbus shooting investigation. The mother of a suspect is facing an accusation today that she threatened a witness. 53-year-old Velma Williams is facing 2 felony counts for this. Investigators say she contacted a witness and made a threat. This is the shooting that happened early Sunday morning on 5th Street South. No one was injured. Williams' son is Terrence Williams. He's facing 3 counts of aggravated assault after gunshots hit several cars in that incident. A judge set Terrence Williams' bond at $1 million yesterday. And an update now on another recent Columbus shooting. A man police arrested yesterday was out on bond at the time for a murder charge, so his bond was denied today. LaRon Gregory will now stay in the Lowndes County Jail. He's facing aggravated assault charges after 2 men were shot at OK Foods convenience store. That's on 7th Avenue North, and that happened Tuesday. Police say the 2 men are in stable condition who were injured. Gregory was indicted last year on a murder charge. He's accused of shooting and killing Brandon Gordon in January of last year. Inside a jail, there are people facing a wide range of charges, everything from excessive traffic tickets to capital murder. There's always the potential for trouble in these scenarios. When you have multiple suspects involved in the same crime, that can enhance those risks. Victoria Bailey talked to 2 law enforcement agencies to find out how they manage housing these inmates.
I got to transport, I got to pay doctor, I got to pay community counseling. Whatever they need, I got to take care of.
Inmates are expensive. They must receive care and the basic necessities. The price tag to keep someone behind bars goes up when they have to be housed in another county.
I had 4 people in my jail, and I got to send 3 of them out. That's $35 a day. That's just about $100 or $200 a week. And, every 3 days it's going to be $100.
Most suspects will have a bond, and if they can't pay, they must stay. Knoxville County Sheriff Terry Grassery says this creates problems in his jail when 2 people are charged in connection with the same crime.
Either the stronger one is going to take advantage of the weaker one and try to get them to change the story, or they try to get the same story together. So nobody wants that. So we always going to try to separate them.
Oktibbeha County Sheriff Steve Gladney sees similar situations.
It could even be where you had arrested someone and there's family members already back there. So you don't want to, that could cause a serious problem.
The counties that make the arrest are still responsible for taking the inmates where they need to be.
I send an inmate to another facility. When he is ill, I still have to send my man to pick him up and bring him back and do the doctor work here. He's housing him for me, but I'm responsible for all his other needs. If he got to go back and forth to court, I'm responsible for that.
Both sheriffs say they are grateful other agencies are willing to lend a helping hand.
I'll go to another facility and maybe carry one, ask somebody to keep one there, and they do the same thing here. They'll give me a call and say, hey, I need to bring one to you. And I'm fortunate I have a good working relationship with the sheriffs in the surrounding counties, and we kind of help each other out.
Usually the other sheriffs, Lowndes, Oktibbeha, Clay, they're pretty good with me, even Kemper and Winston. I got a good working relationship with them that if they could do me a favor, they will.
Victoria, thank you. The 4 capital murder suspects are still awaiting trial, which is expected to be in 2019. To legislation on some potential jail activities. There's movement today for bills that would allow Lee and Itawamba counties to build jails wherever they'd like. The current debate centers around the law that requires jails to be within a mile of the county courthouse. These bills are now going to go to the Senate after passing committees today. The House has already passed bills lifting that 1-mile stipulation. Supervisors in both counties are talking about making plans to build new jails there. New tonight, Columbus police are now investigating a reported kidnapping attempt. A Columbus mother says a woman tried to grab her son from a shopping cart inside a local store. She says this woman approached her and her children. The woman offered her daughter a lollipop, and continued to follow them around the store. The mother did report this to police. A police spokesperson says investigators are looking into it. Also new tonight, an Oxford mother is facing federal charges after starting a high-speed chase on the Natchez Trace Parkway last month. Rangers say DeAndrewnette Harris topped 100 miles per hour in Lee County. She's also facing child neglect charges because a child was in the car at the time. She's free on bond after a court appearance. Let's go to our weather tonight. Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson is in with us. Hey, Keith.
Tommy, what a nice and warm day we had. Temperatures in the 70s and low 80s. There's our sunset in Tupelo this evening with our Alpha Insurance camera. A little extra orange with some smoke drifting in the air. Now tomorrow, windy, still mild. We're looking at the potential for some wind gusts over 20 miles per hour, maybe approaching 30 in some instances. But temperatures still should be fairly mild, even with more cloud cover in the region for our Friday. Here's that wind speed really cranking on up. I have a storm system that will give us some storms Friday night and Saturday. More on that threat in just a few minutes.
Keith, thank you. To some activity in Washington. President Donald Trump says tonight that he's done negotiating. He's demanding a vote tomorrow on the Republican plan to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act. There was not a vote today. CBS's Weijia Zhang explains why.
White House Chief Strategist Steve Bannon confirmed to reporters President Trump wants a vote on the GOP health care bill Friday. The House went back into session Thursday night as Republicans try to gather the votes.
When you look at this, we are going to get to the finish line.
Conservatives gave President Trump a standing ovation when he met with them Thursday morning, but he still couldn't seal the deal despite giving in to their demands to decrease the cost of health care premiums by rolling back coverage on emergency room visits, maternity care, prescription drugs, and mental health care. A new report by the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office says the recent changes to the plan would mean smaller federal savings than the original estimate. Democrats remain flat out opposed.
Whether you call it Trump Care, or whether you call it the Broken Promises Bill, or whether you call it the Pay More and Get Less bill, it's a bad bill, and we will fight it all the way.
Republicans were intent on repealing Obamacare Thursday, the 7th anniversary of former President Obama signing it into law. The delay on the vote is a setback for President Trump in the first key legislative test of his young presidency. He downplayed the GOP divide during a meeting with truckers.
We have a great bill, and I think we have a very good chance, but it's only politics.
GOP leaders want the bill passed in both chambers before the Easter recess in 2 weeks. Weijia Zhang, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
As Republicans voice those concerns, so do people around the country. A Quinnipiac University poll says most people disapprove of this GOP plan. 17% approve, 56% disapprove, and 26% are undecided. Back closer to home, 2 other bills are now just waiting on the governor's signature in Jackson. They involve car safety and an education requirement. One bill would require all passengers in a car to wear a seatbelt. Right now, only people riding in the front seats and children have to wear seatbelts in Mississippi. The fine would be $25 for violations. Buses and farm and mail vehicles would be exempt from that rule. The other bill would require that students learn how to read and write cursive by the end of the 5th grade. New tonight, Lowndes County is a step closer to establishing its own parks and recreation programs. The Mississippi legislature passed a bill today. It's going to send it now to the governor. It would allow Lowndes supervisors to give money to towns, up to $350,000. The money would go toward park activities.
All right, a pretty nice sunset here this evening on this Thursday. A little extra orange because of some smoke in the air. That was from Pontotoc, Mississippi this evening. Our lows tonight should be down to around 60. And tomorrow, windy and warm, storms on Sunday. Your weekend forecast is coming up next.
Your first alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Hey, the weekend is fast approaching. We just have to get through Friday, right? Now, Saturday into the 70s, a 70% chance for some showers and storms. Some could be locally strong, maybe severe. We'll talk about that here. For Sunday, it now looks to be fairly nice, partly cloudy with temperatures warm. up to around 80 degrees. Now, this is our Alpha Insurance time lapse from Columbus this evening. You can see just a little bit of smoke drifting in the air, a nice orange sunset right there. That's how it looked on our Thursday. We topped out today in the 70s and low 80s, and still right now quite mild here on this Thursday evening. We'll take it down to about 60 degrees tonight or the low 60s. Some of you could briefly do the upper 50s later on. Here's our planner for Friday. By noon, around 70, mid-70s during the afternoon. But notice those winds from the southeast at about 10 to 20 with some higher gusts here. So in northeast Mississippi, we're looking at some mid-70s. Same story down into the Golden Triangle area and west Alabama. A lot more cloud cover in the region tomorrow. Some low-level moisture is creeping on in tonight, and that will give us those clouds tomorrow. Maybe a shower on Friday, but a better chance for storms Saturday. Another opportunity on Monday, and perhaps even next week too. And each one of these chances will give us the opportunity for some strong to severe storms in the region. So here comes some number 1 for Saturday, number 2 there for Monday, and then a distant number 3 well away from us right now. That could be here late next week. So a parade of storms coming our way. Let's concentrate on the first one. Let's concentrate on the first one right here that will move through as we get into our Saturday, a line of showers and storms. So that's a big broad view. I want to show you a close inspection here. Strong southeasterly breezes tomorrow, maybe an isolated shower, more clouds. Nothing major, though. As we get into Friday evening late, that line of storms will be approaching by 4 o'clock in the morning or so across our far western counties, it looks like. And then this line of storms will gradually weaken throughout the morning hours. We may see a resurgence, though, as we get into your Saturday afternoon and evening with this unstable air that will still be in place. So this is what we're thinking. The initial wave in the wee hours of the night may pose a damaging wind threat, but it may lose its punch once it gets east of I-55. Now, that resurgence could give us some additional wind and hail possibilities here during the afternoon and the evening. It's not going to rain the entire day. The tornado threat is fairly low with this setup, but we'll keep you updated here. Here's our 7-day forecast. Mid-70s on Friday, windy, more clouds. Showers and storms Saturday. Pretty nice Sunday. There's an additional chance for some strong storms on Monday, and then some quiet stuff for Tuesday and Wednesday. Pretty active, though, for the next week.
Yeah, more storms. That's going to really stay on our radar for the next couple of days.
Full-fledged babysit mode tomorrow night, and Saturday we'll keep you updated, though.
All right. Keith, thank you very much. Amidst all of the basketball tonight, tomorrow night, this weekend, there's also baseball going on. An update on the Rebels and Wildcats is coming up in sports. Stay with us.
Watching WCDI News at 10 with Tommy Lopez.
So our Health Talk with Baptist segment tonight. Tonight, Baptist is talking about spring allergies.
What are some treatments for spring allergies? The best way to stay allergy-free is to avoid pollen as much as possible. Take these measures to keep pollen out of your home. Keep your windows and outside doors closed. Do not use window or attic fans during pollen season if possible. Roll up your car windows when driving. Dry clothing and bedding in the dryer, and don't hang clothes outside. Remember that pets can bring pollen inside on their fur, so don't allow pets that spend time outdoors in your bedroom. We treat spring allergies with a number of over-the-counter prescription drugs. Over-the-counter allergy drugs are effective for many people and include nasal steroid sprays, which reduce inflammation. Antihistamines reduce sneezing, sniffling, and itching by lowering the amount of histamine in the body. Over-the-counter antihistamines often make you feel sleepy or tired, but many non-drowsy formulas are now available. Decongestants clear mucus out of the nasal passageways to relieve congestion and swelling. Decongestant nasal sprays relieve congestion and may clear clogged nasal passages faster than oral decongestants. Allergy testing is recommended in some cases, which helps determine what you're allergic to. This can help better individualize your treatment through avoidance, medication timing, or immunotherapy. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
Coming up, we head back to Oklahoma City for more from Mississippi State as they prepare for Washington in the Sweet 16. That's next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe.
By this time tomorrow, Mississippi State could very well be in the Elite Eight and one win away from playing in Dallas at the Final Four. It's a tall task with the greatest women's college basketball scorer of all time standing in their way. WCBI's Tom Mabel anchors our coverage from Oklahoma City and has more on the MSU-Washington matchup. Tom?
Thank you, Robbie, and good evening from here inside of Chesapeake Arena here in Oklahoma City for our continuing coverage of Mississippi State in the Sweet 16. For Mississippi State, it's been a record-breaking season, but this team can cement itself in program history with a win on Friday. Head coach Vic Schaefer and the Bulldogs have a chance to reach the Elite Eight for the first time in school history with a win over the Washington Hunters.